This is South and Central Asia. It's home to the Earth's highest mountain range and largest river delta. Thousands of years ago, a network of trade routes called the Silk Road ran through this vast terrain, connecting east to west. Today, the region is densely populated and diverse, with 1/4 of the world's population spread across just 7% of the world's landmass. But despite its common history, this is one of the least integrated places in the world. Trade among South and Central Asian countries is the lowest of any region. The stagnation stems largely from a deep mistrust between the region's biggest and most powerful countries, India and Pakistan.